journey be leading? And when will it come to an end? I can see this is just the beginning, and I can no longer return. That my mind won't listen to my mind. My mind will not leave me alone. My mind is not minding its business. My mind has a mind of its own.
Hello, you big, beautiful Broadway world. It's me, your Broadway buddy, Ben Cameron, and you are tuned in today to another installment of The Thankful Project. The Thankful Project is a super important cause and project for me personally, as it is helmed by two of my very best friends in the world who have a very unique story to tell and some incredible music that has come forth from the experiences of their life of the last couple of years. And I would love to introduce them to you right now. They're incredible gentlemen. One, a singer-songwriter extraordinaire, the other, a Broadway baby. Together, they are the it couple around these parts. Welcome to your screen, Jerad Bortz and Skeels.
Hey, Mindy.
Hi, guys. How'd I do on that intro today?
Good. Amazing. Good. I love
you. You look really handsome today, like overly handsome today.
Overly handsome?
Overly handsome. Almost.
That's exactly what I was going for. I don't do anything halfway. If I'm going to be handsome for a shining moment, I'm going to go overly handsome.
I just being the it couple. I don't know what that means, but apparently we're it right now.
You're it right now. You're it in this moment.
Yes.
I adore you too, as you know, and so many people adore you guys. The Broadway community has really rallied around you in such a special and unique and powerful way in the last couple of years. And I think for our viewers, we should talk before we get to the music here today from the Thankful Double Disc album. Why has the Broadway community rallied around you so much? What's your story?
Well, first of all, I mean, the Broadway community's rallied around me because they're amazing people. When you do a show, you all of a sudden like meet 20 to 30 people that you authentically think, I love you. I know I just met you. And now I'm not going to see you for a long time, maybe. But I honestly, so these deep connections, it's what built the community we're in. And so for us, we found ourselves in an awful situation after a car accident. I broke my neck and injured my spinal cord, which left me paralyzed. You can't see, but I'm in a lovely fancy wheelchair right now. But that incident obviously pulled the rug from underneath us, and they're waiting to and anxiously wanting to help as a Broadway community. And so this album that we wanted to do to try to give back is 22 songs, all compositions by the wonderful, my hubby, Steven Skeels. And I said, why don't we do something to give back? We know all these amazing singers, musicians, arrangers, and that's what we're here today to talk about and to release into the world.
Yeah, we're kind of teasing the people a little bit at a time with this series, with the Thankful Project. 22 tracks on the album. Steven, where did you draw inspiration from throughout?
For this particular song, or just for everything?
Just blanket.
From everywhere. It's very eclectic. I mean, there's music that is traditional musical theater, pop, R&B, gospel, dance. I just wanted to. I thought this was the perfect opportunity to really show who I am as a writer and to show what I can do. And most importantly, I had all these incredible artists from the Broadway community that can do so many different things. So it was exciting to think of a song and for a particular person, and that was very exciting to call them, and they said yes. Everybody's been so gracious and so kind and giving of themselves. I didn't sleep last night. My back went out. So I'm a little bit really tired because I've had no sleep since the day before yesterday. So if I sound crazy, it's because I feel a little crazy. But yeah, I'm just grateful to be with all these artists.
Well, you're absolutely right about that. You guys have so many incredible friends within the community, and they have heard your call and brought their voices and their talents to this project. And we're going to meet one of them now as we get to listen to yet another track from the Thankful Project. All right, friends. He's a Tony-nominated star, Pretty Woman, Groundhog Day, Rocky. He is the It leading man on Broadway. Mr. Andy Karl.
Woo! So sexy and debonair.
Andy Karl.
Sexy. Steve, we both need haircuts.
Yes, we do, right?
This is what quarantine will give you.
Crazy. Yeah.
So just so dapper. I love that's an entrance
Yeah, no, yeah, little fist on the chin.
Yeah.
Me? You're talking about me?
I feel like that's the turntable entrance in the digital space.
Yeah, but like the dating show. And now,
Right.
welcome, Andy Karl.
So, Andy, tell us a little bit. It's so great that you dedicated your talent to this project. Tell us a little bit about the song that you sang on the album that we're going to hear, and what this song meant to you. How did you contextualize it?
Well, I mean, I answered the call immediately when you guys asked, and I know that Jerad and I presented songs at something way back in the day for at Wicked, like an after party thing, and I knew that he's a writer, Steve's a writer, and I'm also a writer, and so it's like, I'm chomping at the bit to like work on people's songs, but also like right now I'm doing the same thing. I'm having people from different shows work on songs that I did, and we did it all. I'm doing it remotely, but luckily we were able to be in a studio at the time where we actually recorded this song, which is great. And I feel like I need a couple of weeks of rehearsal, like in a room with this song.
No, you were in.
I mean, amazing.
It's a hard, difficult song. Andy nailed this thing. He came in, sheepishly, but I also know Andy as like a musician and a writer. I mean, Andy, honestly, like I feel like every time I see you in a new project, from the very first thing we did together, there's like a new layer, a new thing you do. I'm really in awe of your talent. Really,
well, that's the great thing about this song called "My Mind," which is it asks that it starts asking that internal question of like, my mind won't leave me alone, and we all feel that right now. It's really interesting. We have a lot of time on our hands. We have a lot of time to like think about ourselves and our predicament and when's this going to happen? And I hate everything. And I can't control my mind from thinking all these crazy thoughts. I usually wake up every morning thinking I have the virus, which is kind of insane. It's impossible to get away from. So you have to sort of like meditate on things. But a great cathartic way is singing a song like this and sort of like losing yourself in this. Your mind is obsessively going on. This is how I sort of took the song at hand, because it's daunting and it needs a couple more weeks of rehearsal. I'd love to be in a room with some like glass that I can break. It's that thing. It's that sort of obsessive compulsive ADD thing that we all have it, and I certainly have it. I get very like locked in on things sometimes where I can't get myself out of the thought. And that's kind of what this is doing, is the mind is sort of taking over control of his emotions and his ability to hope for the future. And he just wants his mind to shut off and leave him alone. And that, I think, is a very human condition. I'm sure we all have. And it was for me, it was easy to like lock in on like, just stop thinking these awful thoughts. And I got so revved up in that studio that day when we were recording this song. It's just because you can take it too far, where I think at one point I was screaming into the microphone some high note, which and you guys were like, yeah, that's a little much. So I think what came out of it was this great recording of your song, and I like it. I'm listening to it constantly now. So.
I love that. Well, I think I speak for everybody watching right now when I say we're very intrigued. If you want to break glass and shout things.
It's. I mean, look, I'm glad. I was very honored that you guys trusted me to sing the song, and I hope I did it justice for you.
You came in. You were so prepared. The singing sounded great, but your acting it blew us away. Jared and I we had our jaws dropping. It was so great. It was so good.
The thing, it's like I need a room now. I need a rehearsal room to like, I need this person over there and that person over there and start, debating over that kind of stuff, and then tearing my hair out and that kind of stuff, which is fun. I've been able to feel that a few times on stage, but this song in particular is like the nth degree of that. So yeah, I mean, I don't know how much I should give away from the song. I don't know how much you should just listen to it and see for yourself.
Let's check it out.
Yeah. All right, let's go to the nth degree and listen to Andy Karl with "My Mind from Thankful."
I feel myself coming undone. These voices that I've always known, they keep getting stronger inside of my head, and now they have minds of their own. How can I stop this confusion? My world is falling apart. It's all coming back much too quickly, the memories that shattered my heart. My family I loved up and left me. My hopes and my wishes were gone. I knew that my dreams never could be, but still I had to go on. What would they be going through now? How would my children have grown? Would my little girl finally come out of her shell with a friend have a voice of his own? And hearing the beat of his own drum, my son, what was he going to be? My wife who's my rocking companion, would she still be beside me? My family, where could this journey be leading? And when will it come to an end? I can see this is just the beginning, and I can no longer pretend that my mind won't listen to my mind. My mind will not leave me alone. My mind is not minding its business. My mind has a mind of its own. I found a place where I can be anything I want to be. I tried to abstain from facing my pain, but my mind won't let me be free. Left the rat race, suits me fine. No more rules and no deadlines. I thought I had let it go, but now I just don't know. So where could this journey be leading? And when will it come to an end? I can see this is just the beginning, and I can no longer pretend that my mind won't listen to my mind. My mind will not leave me alone. My mind is not minding its business. My mind has a mind of its own. Leave me alone.
Yes!
Absolutely. I got to tell you, that is so fun to watch Andy listen to that and go through it.
It's like you get caught up in it, which I love the orchestrations that are there. That violin, that chunka chunka chunka. You can feel that underbelly of thoughts that are happening, and he's ready to like sort of boil over. And it's. I'm honored with that song. That's the song you want to sing.
It's such a treat to hear it be done, and to be done. Look, you're at the top of your game.
Well,
it's great. We're lucky to have you.
It feels like a really terrific marriage of performer and song, for sure. Mm-hmm. And I think you're absolutely right too, Andy, that I think that we all are that person right now, with our minds having minds of their own and not leaving us alone for the last several months. And that's why I'm on Zoloft. Jerad and Stephen, so talk to us in that vein. Tell us a little bit about how you got to Andy for this song. Seems pretty like a no-brainer, but.
Well, I mean, there's, it's a show that Stephen and I have toiled with for a while. You know how shows are when you're like, let's write a show. They don't write themselves. They take years. So this is from a show called CPNY about Central Park, New York. It's about a homeless man and sort of his journey to try to resurrect his life. And his mental, he does have a mental illness. He does schizophrenia, and this character also is loosely based on Stephen's dad, who battled mental illness. Stephen lost him when he was 9, so he didn't really get to know him that well. We wanted to put a couple of these songs in there. There's 3. There's one song called "You" that Norbert Leo Butz sings. There's a song called "I Remember" that Stephen sings of this character, and then the other one was "My Mind." And honestly, it's a hard song. There's a lot of lyrics. So just simply Andy as a musician, it was like, I think, let's see if he's up for it. And surprisingly, he just said, yeah, that's a cool song. I'll do it. I was like, good, we got him. He doesn't know how hard it is yet. Because it modulates, it changes keys, it does all sorts of weird things. Yeah. So we were just thrilled that he said yes, and to hear the song be done. And it's great to have this sort of like suite of 3 songs of this one character at lots of different points in the story. So it's a treat. we're thrilled.
One thing I know for sure is that song happens at exactly 11 o'clock.
Ah!
That goes without saying. I'm pretty.
Yeah,
darn
I wonder where's the homeless guy at that point? I mean,
You know what's funny is that maybe look, this is where we take notes when people say things, because it's actually the "I Want" song in the show, which is funny.
Oh, interesting.
Because it's meant to set up his whole character about his mental illness, and you sort of meet him in this sort of like charming way, and he's talking to animals, but you don't think it's super weird. You're like, okay, he talks to animals. And then he slowly unwinds, and this song happens. You're like, oh, shoot, there's something going on with this guy that's just not quite all there.
Which means the number is probably double that.
Yeah.
Give that to Norm.
Yeah.
It's a killer song. Andy, you're awesome. Andy, so you're in Miami.
Yes, yeah. We took it down to Florida because I didn't want to lose my mind in New York. I assume that's where you guys are in New York.
Yeah.
But it's like then we came down, and then it's like everything changes. Like Florida's the worst place on earth to be. No New York. So it really doesn't matter where you are as long as you have a computer that works and friends to talk to and songs to sing, like the ones today.
Yeah, it's and great that we're keeping ourselves artistically fulfilled in some way, and we've got the technology to do so.
That's great, and especially with what like Stephen and Jerad went through, it was sort of like when you made the call to have people record songs to sort of partake in this artistic journey, with the fact that you guys you wanted to not be in the mindsets that you were, because all of the tragedy based around what you guys went through, and it destroys me when I see you guys just like championing through. It's like you just want to cry, like how great you guys handle all this stuff. And like I literally just watched the YouTube of when the Wicked performance at the Easter Bonnet, and like tears just watching it, because you're just so strong. It's unbelievable. And that's, I've played a few parts where it's like you have to be so strong, especially something like Rocky, where it's like strength through the hardest time of your life, which is so inspiring. So I'm so glad that I could be a part of it, and so glad that let's make some sales on this thing, raise some money.
Right, make some money for some people.
Absolutely right. And Jerad, tell us about that, because it is a benefit album.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the first and foremost was the Actors Fund, which for all of us is that safety net. And they were there to, I mean, I will reiterate too that, for those of you out there that need help, you do have to reach out your hand, but know that hand will be met with a huge hand from so many places. And one of those big places for us was the Actors Fund. So they're going to be receiving some of the funds, as well as Canine Companions for Independence, which is an amazing organization that breeds and trains dogs specifically for people with disabilities and for veterans. And there were several of them when I did my inpatient rehab at Kessler, New Jersey. And it's just something about the presence of unconditional love from an animal, as well as just practical things, the amazing things they can train these dogs to do, just to like help in everyday tasks. So those are two great organizations. And then for me, there's a couple pieces of equipment that still just financially are a little bit out of reach that would be great to have to keep me healthy. Bone density is something that is so quickly lost with people with spinal cord injuries and disabilities. So there's something called a standing frame that I can get into. It's in a seated position, and you crank that sucker up and you're in a standing position, and getting the body into a standing position so the bones can bear weight again. Just for all the different systems of the body, it's a great thing. So
can I come over and try it one time? I feel like my bones.
Yeah, I mean, please.
We're all sitting on our couches right now. I need a bone density machine.
Yeah, right. I think we could all use something that gets our blood pumping. So those are the organizations that we're trying to help out.
Great. And people, as we continue to drop these breadcrumbs of music, people can pre-order the album where?
Yeah. So eventually when it gets released, it's going to be available in all those lovely places that we listen to music. But for now, the biggest hit for us is if you'll pre-order it on iTunes. And every week when a new episode of this Thankful Project drops on Broadway World, the single of the artist that we profiled will be released that day. So if you buy the album today, or you already bought it, you will get Andy Karl singing "My Mind," there you go, as well as the other singles that dropped. So go to iTunes, pre-order that album, listen to some tunes, and each week you'll get a new one for the first 6 weeks of the album.
I just like the phrase, if you buy now, you get Andy Karl.
Yeah.
I mean,
Time.
Not just one Andy Karl, two Andy Karls.
sorry, we're commodifying you, Andy. We're selling you.
Overdoing it. Yeah, you don't want two Andy Karls. Trust me, my wife's like, "Well, enough."
What is good? So we like to end this, Andy, by discussing things that we're thankful for today, and then things that we're saying no thank you to. So Stephen, why don't you start us out? Give us an example.
I'm thankful for Darren Melchiorre, who was the beautiful graphic artist for this project. He and I have worked together for years on different projects, and he's such a beautiful, talented, kind, loving artist. And when I called and said, "Would you do this?" he said, "Absolutely." And the artwork is really, really beautiful. I'm anxious for people to take a look at some of his beautiful work.
Yeah.
And no thanks to this back that went out. No thank you to my back. And it's because why? Because I've been sitting on the couch for 3 months.
Bone
doing
density machine.
exercises.
Get the bone density machine.
Oh my gosh, it's been a killer. So no thanks to the backache, but it's getting
Mr.
better.
I'm going to say thankful as we're listening to that. The musicians, I mean, most of the musicians, over 70 musicians that played on this album, didn't know who I was. Lynn Pinto, our executive producer, who immediately signed on to help create this with us, has these contacts, would send an email and just say, "Look, this is a situation we're in. If you have some time to help out." And everyone said yes. And after their session, they would say, and they did not have to say this, they'd say, "Look, there's another song you need to play on. This was really fun. I really enjoyed this. It was cool music." So I'm grateful and thankful for those over 70 musicians that just climbed on board, came in, read a chart, and recorded it
so fast.
Incredible. That kind of talent. I just am in awe of that.
And no thank you.
And a no thank you. And again, this catches me off guard. You know what? For me, I've been missing physical activity too. I used to take a spin class every week and do a hand cycling class. And then I had a physical therapy every week. And for me, it presents itself in spasms. So when your spinal cord gets damaged, your nerves don't know what's going on. So spasms are a big thing that people with spinal cord injuries deal with. I'm thankfully don't medicate for mine, but they do show up, and I've got spasms in my stomach that just, although they make my stomach flat, which is nice, they make trying to balance when you have no muscle control very difficult. When your muscles are like, "Let's go this way, let's go this way." And I'm like, "Guys, calm down.
Oh man,
no thanks to the muscle spasms."
yeah. At least you're ripped, man. It's amazing.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Shredded.
Andy Karl.
Yeah. I mean, gosh, just listening to you guys, I'm thankful to have been on your album. Of course, I am thankful for getting some exercise in my life. Exercise is really like you said, Jerad. It's very important to keep your body going, because my mind, let's bring it back to there, tends to not get its endorphin rush and really sort of get out of your own body for just a minute. But yeah, there's good things to be thankful for. Thankful for my wife. I could name a list. There's been plenty of things I thought of while I've been here, laying on the bed and staring at the ceiling and wondering what the heck is going to happen. Yeah, and a big FU to the coronavirus. Let's put that out there.
Yes.
Not really thankful for that. That really that put a thorn in everybody's side. It's like I could have done without all the time off. I think everybody feels that way. It's like it's cool to take some time and really contemplate things, but I think there's so many people that were on a roll of just creating and being together and making things happen. but you know, I am thankful for the computer and being able to remotely record songs and talk to you guys and keep creative that way. It's just in a different way. I'd rather be in a room throwing glass and singing my mind.
For sure.
Maybe you'll see it. I don't know.
Yeah. Let's do it.
I'm thankful for all of you. I'm thankful for you guys for making this album. And today I am thankful to Special K Red Berries as a breakfast choice. They're very beautiful, and it says now with even more berries. And I'm saying no thank you to Special K Red Berry cereal, because you think you're getting when you first open it, you think you're getting a really wonderful portion of red berries, and that's all the berries in the bag.
They're on the
You spend the next week with no berries. So no thank you to that. Gentlemen, you are awesome. And everyone is thankful for all of you and your talents and your gifts. And it's wonderful to see you guys. And stay safe and sane. And we love you.
Love you too. Thanks, Benny. Thanks, Andy.
Thanks, guys.
My mind is a